Hello, my name is Michael Randolph, and I'm here to give some takeaways from tonight's class titled How to Start, Operate, Finance, and Grow a Nonprofit. It was broken into pretty much two sections. Section one dealt with how to start a nonprofit. This was for groups that wanted to start nonprofits, and for nonprofits that was existing that wanted to make sure they had all of their I's and their T's crossed. The second part was how to write a grant. Now, the second part, most of the people that attended the second part are people that are interested in taking the in-depth class that we offer. And they use this as a side hustle. When you're a grant writer, you can make as little as $700 per grant and even up. I've worked with some deals where I wrote a grant for $2,000, $3,000. So you can definitely have a side hustle as a grant writer. So I encourage you to take part of our in-depth class. I also encourage you, if you're a nonprofit and you just want to learn how to write grants for the nonprofit, that you take this particular class. So that being said, let's hear what went on in class tonight. Give me some takeaway, folks. What was it helpful? How could it have been more helpful? Give me some feedback. And also, shout out what part of the country that you're from. And if you are a nonprofit, shout out your nonprofit so people can shoot some money your way. So let's start with some takeaways. What did you think of tonight's class? Anybody can chime in.
It was very informative. So I learned a lot. Got a lot more work to do.
Okay, now where are you from?
Georgia.
Georgia. Okay, next.
I'm in Georgia as well. I provide public health education for underserved communities, and this was extremely helpful for my grant writing process. I'm just starting to think about some grants, so this was very, very informative and very helpful. Thank you so much.
Excellent, because that's over 115,000 people that give out money. That's why this class shows you where the money is. So you're not going to have any problem with getting money for your nonprofit. Next.
Hi, my name is Brittany Richardson. I'm from the Tampa Bay, Florida area.
Tampa.
Yes, nice to meet you. And thank you so much for the informative information through this class. I think it's needed because the way of the future is leaning towards community support and offering the pillars of the community the lead in receiving funding so that they can benefit their own community. So, as many tips and, educational programs or classes that can be promoted to the nonprofit organizations is definitely needed. So I appreciate you for that. What we have going on is an upcoming youth department, and we're focusing on the arts and making sure that we keep them in tune in something that's positive and keep them engaged so that they could see their potentials and growing it. So in that aspect, our first fundraiser is coming up on July 30th, and we will be doing a talent show presented by the youth. So we're hiring youth staff members. Definitely the showcase will be nothing but the youth, and then we'll have our entrepreneurs.
Hello? Hello? Well, anybody else?
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if it got muted or something, but yeah.
Lost you for a second, right?
Yes, it said something about a Facebook loop. Muted my phone. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
But anyway, look, what you're doing is excellent. Make sure you contact me so we can work with you and get some big grants to come in to your organization. using the arts as a way to attract the young. The only spin I will put to it is to make sure people know that in addition to the arts, you also focus on public safety because you reduce crime when you got young people that are doing positive things. So always put that spin on it
Mhm.
in order to get the money.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Next. Who's next? Okay, well, if that's it, folks, I hope you enjoyed this class. Like I said, I've worked with nonprofits to get millions of dollars and thousands of dollars because, as you see, we prepare the nonprofit with all of the things necessary to go after the dollars in order to be successful. So before we get out of here tonight, anybody else that wants to say anything? And by the way, we're doing this live. So we had a lot of people that joined from around the country on our YouTube Live, as well as our Facebook Live, our Twitter Live, as well as our LinkedIn Live. So we got people from all over the country. But before we leave this particular presentation, anybody else want to add anything before we roll out tonight?
Yes, I wanted to know what other platforms can I find you on? What is your name?
So my name is Michael Randolph. I'm with the
Okay.
Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. I'm gonna put that information in the chat room because we do
Okay.
all kind of nonprofit work. Not only writing grants, but doing business plans, strategic plans, all that good stuff. Let me find the chat room, the chat, and I'm gonna drop it in the chat, and y'all can email me so we can take it to the next level. 1 second while I'm typing it in. Anybody else that I'm typing in? Okay, give me 1 second to type this. And I appreciate everybody staying. Because you get addicted from the first one on, people get addicted. I think, this is the Center for Nonprofit and Community at gmail.com.
Okay, great.
You also
Thank
can
you.
hit me up on all my social media format. If you want to hit me on my webpage, it's www.michaelrandolph.us. I made it real easy. www.michaelrandolph.us. They say keep it simple. So that being said, I'm amazed by the number of people that's stepping up to the plate to make a difference in our society. I always say that nonprofit rocks. Anybody else? Anything else before we roll out tonight? Everybody good? Thanks again. We're doing another class in July. I think it's July the 30th. So I'll be sending out information about that class as well. We're gonna be doing some other classes up in the future on how to write a business plan. And that business plan is like when you're putting together a for-profit business. We're gonna have strategy on how to put together a logic model or theory of change. So we do a whole list of types of training to prepare you to actually meet the requirements necessary to service your clientele. So that being said, if we're good to go, is everybody good to go?
Well, I have one question, Mr. Randolph.
Please.
Is it possible that we could do a follow-up call with you next week?
Definitely.
Okay.
That's why I got my email in there.
Okay. Can you say the email one more time?
So the email is Center for Nonprofit.
The word for or the number for?
The word.
Okay.
Center for Nonprofit and Community at gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you,
And it's
sir.
in the chat room as well. I tell you, drop your emails in the chat room, and I'll make sure I'll send something out to y'all.
Okay.
So drop your email, and then I'll make sure I'll send something